Hello. You know that awful feeling when you're with your partner and you write, okay, we need to have a chat, and their response is, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Or, oh my God, here we go again. How many times have we got to talk about it? Maybe you start a conversation with your partner, and what happens next is every single transgression that has ever happened since the two of you were together gets pulled out in this litany of transgressions that just goes on and on and on and on. Oftentimes, when this happens in relationships, what happens next is one person will just shut down and leave. If you're really unlucky, you're going to get the silent treatment, and that is what I'm going to talk to you about today. So I think we've all at one time or another experienced the silent treatment. Why do people shut down to the point of not talking to us at all? Well, some people do it literally to punish, control, and to disempower us. That is the absolute reason behind it. And sometimes it's because they're engulfed and overwhelmed and they don't know how to cope. The reason they do this, generally speaking, is because that's exactly how they learned to manage communication. That's how they learn. As they watch their parents, they watch the people closest to them, the people that mattered to them. That's how they learned to do communication. They also may know that silence is a really effective way to emotionally manipulate you, because there is nothing worse than that uncomfortable feeling of, oh my God, when is this going to end? You know, some people can do it for hours, but I have sat with clients where they have done it for days and weeks, and it is incredibly uncomfortable for the person who has been frozen out. So it's designed really to manipulate you emotionally, and it's not really a good idea. But if it's the only strategy we've got, then we use it. So how do we cope? What do we do to manage if we or our partner happen to use the silent treatment? Well, my name is Debbie Carberry, and I am a qualified relationship coach, and I help couples with this all of the time. So number one, detach. What does that mean? It means don't get pulled into the emotional disempowerment. Don't get dragged into it. What you need to do is step back and go, you know what? I'm not going to react to this. I'm going to get about my day as if everything is fine, because part of the reward for the person who's being silent is your discomfort. So as best you can, detach. Keep as calm as you can. Try and talk directly and calmly to the other person as you would in normal conversation. Of course, they may not respond to you, but you can still be as calm as possible and talk to them. At some point, you're going to have to probably confront them and say, hey, and probably set some boundaries. Hey, this isn't okay. It doesn't help us resolve anything. We need to talk to each other. And when you freeze me out, it makes me feel really uncomfortable. And I'm, you know, then I'm going to set some boundaries. And with boundaries, when we set them, we then have to look at what's the consequence if the person does this. And that's a really important part of setting boundaries. And of course, most important is you've got to take care of yourself. So do what you need to make yourself feel as comfortable as you can, given the circumstances. That can be really tricky, okay? It can be really super duper tricky. All right. Now, if you want to discuss how to do some of that stuff, come on over to my private Facebook group. It is Rewrite Your Relationship Story. You know, not everybody wants to talk about their relationship on their news feed, which is a good thing if you ask me. So we go behind closed doors in the private Facebook group where we really sort of dig around in some of these topics. So if you'd like to join me, come and hop on over. Okay, have a fantastic week. Bye, everybody.